Good evening. After 7 years, 70 witnesses, and 377 exhibits, the final report has been released at the Desmond Fatality Inquiry. The judge found the healthcare system could have done a better job helping the veteran who suffered with PTSD before killing his family and himself. The report also makes dozens of recommendations. CTV's Kyle Moore reports.
7 years after Lionel Desmond killed his wife, his 10-year-old daughter, his mother, and then himself, the judge released his final report and had some critical words on what could have been done.
It is striking to me that once Corporal Desmond transferred to Nova Scotia, it took many months to ramp up the care that he so desperately needed. This despite time being of the essence.
The Afghanistan veteran had severe PTSD and depression. Judge Paul Scoville made 25 recommendations, including better sharing of medical files, provide more virtual care to rural African Nova Scotian communities, and hire more Black mental health providers to give culturally informed care. As well, he recommends tighter firearm control. Lionel Desmond's sister is urging governments to follow through.
The guide is there for what they need to put in place, so for any more blood to fall on their hands or anything like that, then we'd have to look at the federal government, provincial government, and ask, what are you doing wrong and how come you're not listening?
Shayna Desmond's family is not happy with today's outcome and the lack of support the family has received.
We're better off just putting, instead of Desmond Fatality Inquiry, Lionel Fatality Inquiry.
Sheldon Borden says his mother and father are still living in the house where the tragedy took place.
The first way to begin to help the families heal is to help the family with relocating.
The inquiry took 56 days over several years due to pandemic pauses and other delays. In all, testimony was heard from 70 witnesses.
At the end of the day, it is impossible to say with certainty that had these recommendations been in place when Corporal Desmond left the military, no suicide or homicides would have occurred.
The Nova Scotia government says it will be reviewing the recommendations, and while the Veterans Affairs Minister hasn't read the report, she says some changes have already been made.
This includes increased case management services, more robust mental health supports, and a redesigned transition process in partnerships with our colleagues with the Canadian Armed Forces.
In the end, the judge found no one person was to blame, that the issue is systemic up to and including January 3rd, 2017. Kyle Moore, CTV News, Port Hawkesbury.